What a week to start off. So grass is finally starting to turn green, lime green at least, starting to wake up. But what a week it's been for us. So you can just see the crazy mess already. I had a job yesterday for Pine Straw, so let's see. It's what's today's date? Thursday. So Monday, what did we do Monday? Oh, Monday I went solo and I did 8 yards. And then I had a client that hired us to do leaf cleanup, mulch up all her leaves in her backyard. And she saw me from, because we did her neighbor's yard, and I'll post a picture of a before and after. But that job took about 4 hours, maybe 5. And then the neighbor liked our job. She's like, hey, can you give me a quote for mine? So I gave her a quote, and she approved it. And then, as you can tell, it rained a little bit yesterday. So on Tuesday, I had called her, be like, hey, if it rains on Thursday, we won't be able to do the job Friday, because obviously when it rains, you need at least like a few days for the leaves to dry up. So as I was talking to her, she's like, oh yeah, okay, no worries, I understand. She's like, I'm kind of in a pickle, because she ordered 15 yards of mulch, and her yard guy that was supposed to spread it told her he was too busy this week and he wasn't able to do it. But of course, she bought the mulch to save money. So she's like, and I mean, she didn't even ask me to help her. She just kind of like brought it up to me, and I'm like, right away I see like dollar signs, because we're still slow. So I was like, let me see something. Let me see if I can pull something together. So we were there for 6 hours, and I charged her close to $800 for that job. So that was a good job. But Jacob was trying to put the wheelbarrow over my truck, and you can see that little dent. So I got a little upset. I'm still a little upset about it, because it's my, she's my baby. I worked so hard to get her, and she got a big scratch. But anyway, that was Tuesday. I just told her, we can help you for 6 hours, and I can't promise anything. So we did about a good 13 yards. But we didn't spread it. We pretty much just piled it on her flower beds, because that's what she wanted. And she's like, don't worry, just pile it for me, and then I'll spread it. And that's what we did. So that was Tuesday. And then Wednesday is yesterday. You can see the slate jumbo chips. So we had our first landscaping job. So that took about 6 hours. And then I'll put a picture. It came out beautiful. But it took about 6 hours. And then I had to go to the nursery twice to get more rocks, because I miscalculated. But you live and learn. But she wanted landscaping rocks, and then the pine straw. And then I always buy extra, so these two were extra. But we did use one, or half of one. So it's always extra, just to kind of order more than what you think you need. And that was yesterday. And then in the morning before that job, me and Jacob and my son moved a boulder. Both of them, one weighed about 600 pounds, the other one weighed close to 500. So pretty much what I did is I went to rent a pallet jack. We moved it to the pallet, or we transferred the rocks to the pallet jack, and then just used nothing but strength to move it to their yard. And then we placed it, wiggled it, until the customer was happy with it, and they were happy with it. So busy week. And I gave out 3 quotes yesterday. So far I've given 4 quotes this week, and phone's starting to ring. This is the first year that this is happening to me, where we just started, and I feel a little bit overwhelmed, just because of everything that is going on. It's a lot of moving pieces. But normally the other years, my phone, this is the first for me. So I'm very excited. But again, it's taken me 4 years. And then one thing I would say, because I did get a comment oh, how do you get more clients? Google. You guys need a Google page. Make your business look like a business from, through the internet. A lot of people will go on Google and type in lawn care, landscaping, cleanup jobs, and then your Google page should pop up. I'm at 124 reviews, and I am the top rated lawn care company on Google for my area. So that's how I'm getting all these calls. But ask your friends, families, co-workers, neighbors, anyone. Be like, hey, can you really help me out? Can you leave me a review? Send them a link to it where they just click on the link and they can leave you a review. And if you already have like a few clients, ask your clients to give you a review, because that's how I'm landing on these jobs. But today's agenda is, I think we have 10 yards, but we're starting late. But because it's the time change, the sun isn't coming down till 7:30, so we might be out a good chunk of the day or all day since we're starting late. But I did get a comment asking me if 3 mowers would fit on my trailer. First, what size trailer my trailer is, and then if 3 of my mowers would fit. I think if I moved them like to the side, they would fit, but it'd be a little bit tight. And then again, I'm a single axle, this is a single axle trailer, so there's no way my axles will break, or eventually it will cause a lot of damage to the trailer. So if it's a single axle, it will, but I wouldn't recommend it. But if you have a tandem axle, 3 mowers should fit. But again, I would go with the 7.5 by 16 or 8 by 16, because those 2 feet do make a difference. But anyways, let's get it. I'll try to record for today, and then I'm just waiting for Jacob. I got to clean this up, and then we'll get the ball rolling. So this is property number 2. I got Jacob mowing. I saw this on YouTube, obviously, because sometimes other lawn care content creators will pop up, but it had a pretty good title. It said making $10,000 a month as a solo operator. That's definitely doable, but I think it would have taken them, I would think, like 4 to 6 years to get to that point. So you can definitely, again, you can make money in lawn care, but it's a process, and it takes a lot of willpower and mental strength to get there, because when you start off, you're not going to get that many jobs. You're going to get discouraged, and if you don't have the proper equipment and it's hot out here, you're going to throw in the towel. You're going to be like, this isn't for me, screw this, F this, and go back to working for someone else. But what's the alternative if you don't start your own business? Or lawn care, it's not rocket science, but it's not easy, but you can do it. But the alternative is working for someone else, clocking in, clocking out, always checking, how many hours do I have this week, or I have to hit a certain amount of hours. Here, eventually you'll be able to set your prices and be like, I'm not dropping my gate for $75 or $80, even if it takes me like 15, 20 minutes or 10 minutes. And eventually you'll get there. Definitely doable. I'm not there. Am I close? Maybe. I would say, I always like to be conservative. So I'd say I'm like halfway there if I'm being conservative. But anyways, we got 10 for today. I don't know. There's so much I have to do still, but I'm trying to get all of these this week or done. I'm trying to get all these 10 yards done today, because then tomorrow we have 3, but one of them is going to be like a big leaf cleanup job, like I mentioned. So I think Jacob's somewhere back there weed eating. Let me get a better grip. But this is a new account, but you can see, I don't know if the camera gets a good angle of it, but this is hella steep. You can see right here where I'm stepping, I kind of scalped it a little bit, but it is what it is. So pretty much I was just going downwards. I I did try going from the bottom up, like in this area, and I definitely almost flipped my mower with me on it, but I jimmied it a little bit, made it work. I only had to weed eat a little section over here. It's a new account that one of my buddy Sean that I told you guys to follow. This area I had to weed eat a little section, so nothing too crazy. And I can hear Jacob back there. This one probably took us 30 minutes. I mean, it ain't pretty, but you know, just because my lines are all over the place. But it's like on a slope, so it's hard to get nice lines. And when we got here, it was like really overgrown, a lot of leaves from winter. So, when they don't pay for someone to come here all year round, you know, there's only so much I can do when I come. And we're doing just like our regular maintenance, but it definitely looks nice. And then I trimmed these two shrubs over here. But yeah, I got one more. This is number 7. So I pushed 2 for next week just because me and Jacob are feeling it. Just from the mulch job that we did, and then stones, and then we move a freaking boulder out. Very busy week for us. And I know I'm feeling it. I know Jacob's feeling it a little bit worse just because I have better stamina than he does. But spring rush is officially here, and I'm definitely getting calls left and right. I put 2 bids so far for next week. We'll see if I land any of them, and then I'm going to work on one tonight. And pretty much it's 4 yards of mulch, and I believe it was like 80 bales of pine straw. So that would give us like a full day worth of work. And then I'm actually in talks to have another part-timer to help us on these bigger jobs so that we can execute a lot quicker. But that's still in the works. It might fall through. It might, you know, I don't know. But anyways, like, subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Peace.